In a poor rural village, people often said, "Everyone should carry their own burden. Don't shoulder someone else's." But there was a boy, starting at age 6, who carried his friend to school every single day. Not for a week, not for a year, but for 10 straight years. He didn't do it for praise, nor recognition, nor reward. He did it because, "That's my friend." The one being carried, Lam, was born paralyzed from the waist down. The one carrying, Minh, wasn't richer or smarter than anyone else. But he had something others didn't: a heart too big to measure. And when people kept asking Minh over the years, "Why are you still carrying him? What do you get out of this?" Minh simply smiled and answered softly, "To stay his friend." The day Lam passed his university entrance exam, Minh stepped away from the friend he'd walked beside for a decade. No one imagined that 10 years later, the boy who was once carried would return and leave the entire village speechless. Minh was born into a farmer's family. His parents worked tirelessly just to afford rice and clothes. Lam, a neighbor across the muddy canal, had been paralyzed since birth. Locals pitied him, saying, "That's his fate. Maybe he's paying off a debt from a past life." The first time Minh saw Lam, the boy was sitting silently on the porch, crying because his mother wouldn't let him go to school. Minh, holding his own school bag, stood there for a moment and asked, "Do you really want to go to school?" Lam nodded, his tears still wet. Minh put his bag down, bent his back. "Then get on, I'll carry you." From that day on, every morning, before the rooster crowed, Minh would call out, "Climb on, let's go to school." He would walk almost 2 kilometers, through dirt paths, across rice fields, wading muddy streams. Some days, both of them slipped into the mud. One morning, their teacher asked, "Minh, why didn't you make it to class earlier today?" He replied, "It rained hard, and I slipped, dropped him. Had to take him back to change clothes before coming." Not once did he complain. Not once did he give up. Each school year passed, and Minh kept carrying Lam. Literally. Lam excelled academically, quickly becoming a favorite among teachers. Minh passed his classes, barely, but always sat beside Lam, taking notes for him, helping explain lessons. Villagers began whispering, "That boy likes attention. He just wants people to praise him." But Minh didn't care what anyone thought. He only cared that Lam made it to class each day. Sometimes Lam cried during class, feeling guilty. Minh would nudge him playfully, "As long as you learn well, I'm happy." Years passed, elementary, middle school, then high school. Minh grew taller, thinner. His back began to ache from the growing weight. Yet not once did he leave Lam at home. On the first day of 12th grade, the principal spoke about a student of unmatched perseverance. The school applauded. Lam was honored. Minh stood silently at the back, tying Lam's shoelaces with a quiet smile no one noticed. One day, a local TV crew came to film a report. A reporter asked Minh, "Don't you get tired?" He scratched. His head smiled shyly. "Of course I do, but if I don't carry him, who will?" But behind the touching headlines, Minh faced reality. His family was sinking deeper into poverty. His father was ill, his mother working long days. Minh considered quitting school to work construction. It was Lam who cried through the night, begging, "If you quit, I quit. I can't go to school without you." So Minh stayed, and kept carrying his friend. As graduation approached, tensions mounted. Minh's classmates were enrolling in extra classes, rushing between school and exam centers. Meanwhile, Minh was juggling school with long hours of field work and taking care of his sick father. Late at night, while others studied by lamplight, Minh sat in the yard with a flashlight, helping his mother husk corn or patch old clothes. Sometimes Lam called out to him from inside, "You can still study. I'll wait." But Minh only smiled, waved his hand and said, "You study. One of us has to make it. Minh had potential, but never the time. Teachers offered to tutor him for free, but he refused. He was afraid of raising false hopes in his family. Money was tighter than ever, and Minh already felt like a burden. When the final exam day approached, Lam tried convincing Minh one last time. "Just register. I'll help pay the fee." But Minh shook his head. "It's not about the fee. It's about what I'd do if I passed. Who would work while I'm gone?" So Lam went alone. That summer, Minh watched the exam announcements pinned on the school gate from afar. He already knew Lam had passed, top scores. Teachers cheered. Newspapers ran the headline, "Disabled Student Makes Top University." No, one mentioned Minh, yet Minh was the first to show up to Lam's send-off, bringing a small backpack of snacks and a worn-out notebook. "Write it all down," he said, pressing the notebook into Lam's hands. "One day when we're old, I'll make you read every page." They hugged, not tightly, but long. As the bus drove off, Minh waved and shouted, "Don't forget me, city boy." Lam's answer, through the glass, "Never. I'll come back with—" Lam did more than succeed. He soared. Graduating with honors, he went on to pursue a doctorate overseas, working on cutting-edge technologies to help people with disabilities. Every milestone, every thesis, every award, he logged in that same old notebook Minh gave him. Each page, each word, a promise kept. And then, a decade later, he returned. It wasn't just for nostalgia. It was for something bigger. He contacted the school weeks in advance, requesting to speak at the anniversary. But on one condition: no media, no banners. He wanted to speak from the heart, not the headlines. The schoolyard that day was packed with familiar faces, older now, teachers, classmates, even curious villagers who once whispered about the boy who carried his friend. Lam entered slowly, his motorized wheelchair humming. He wore a dark suit, but his smile was bright as ever. Children whispered, "That's him," while elders murmured, "He really made it." But Lam wasn't looking for admiration. He scanned the crowd until he found him. Minh, still lean, calloused hands, clothes dusty from the morning's labor. Taking the mic, Lam said, "I was carried by someone the world forgot. I was educated, on the back of someone who never asked for anything in return. Today, everything I am started with him." He turned to Minh. "And now, I return not just as a friend, but as a brother with something to give back." From his pocket, Lam pulled out 2 scrolls. One, a framed certificate, renaming the New Tech Learning Center, Minh's House of Dreams. The other, a university degree, honorary, signed by the very institution Lam graduated from. It bore Minh's name. The crowd gasped. Minh stepped up, stunned. "I didn't earn this," he whispered. "No," Lam said. "You lived it." The two embraced, no longer carrier and passenger, but equals, standing taller than ever. In life, some things are done not for praise, not for reward, but simply because they are right. Minh never saw those 10 years as a sacrifice. He just thought, "He needs me, so I'll be there." And the reward, not glory, not fame, but a friendship strong enough to transform 2 lives. So today, if you see someone in need, remember this story. Because the kindness you give now could become someone's miracle 10 years from today. We don't need to do great things, just small things, with great love. And now, in the very place where it all began, Minh and Lam walked side by side onto a university stage, receiving their degrees together. No longer the one who carried, or the one who was carried, but 2 true companions, walking forward as equals into a future they built with love.